In the 2014 parliamentary elections in India, the Bharatiya Janata Party won and Mr. Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister. Following their victory during the next 5-year rule, they were seen by many Christian groups as a threat to Christian interests. So when the 2019 parliamentary elections approached, many Christian gatherings and public prayers focused specifically on political outcomes. Prayers were offered asking that the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party should lose. Some Christian preachers even claimed that God had spoken to them personally and promised that Modi would be replaced by a younger leader, referring to Rahul Gandhi. But all those prayers went in vain and those prophecies failed when the election results were announced. The Bharatiya Janata Party won the 2019 election as well, and Mr. Modi was re-elected as the Prime Minister of India. We are not interested in politics on this channel, but the reason I am bringing up this topic is because it reveals something very important about Christianity. These political ideas, supporting a particular party or leader and praying for specific political outcomes, show that Christianity is a man-made religion shaped by worldly power and fear. Let me show you how. In the Gospel of John in the New Testament of the Bible, chapter 18, verse 36, Jesus says, "My kingdom is not of this world." He also describes his followers in the same way when he says in John 17:14, "They are not of the world any more than I am of the world." This means that Christians are not supposed to be concerned with politics or how the world operates. They are expected to remain untouched and untroubled by opposition in this world. Yet, the way Christians react to political changes and their dependence on political leaders clearly shows that they do not even follow what Jesus taught. This pattern is not limited to India. In the United States, many Christians strongly support political leaders like Donald Trump, despite widespread criticism of his conduct. He is extremely arrogant and he tends to speak in a degrading manner about those who he dislikes. It has been documented that in his political life, he has spread more than 30,000 false or misleading statements, according to fact-checking organizations. It has also been documented that in his business career, he has been involved in even more unethical activities. In addition, there are sexual misconduct allegations against him. Christians often present themselves as upholding moral standards and judging others by those standards. Yet, many Christians continue to support a leader with a widely questioned personal character because he promises political power, protection, and influence for the Christian community. In this way, religious belief becomes less about spiritual values and more about gaining political power and protecting one's social and political position. This directly contradicts the teachings attributed to Jesus in John 18:36 and John 17:14. Where his kingdom is described as not belonging to this world and his followers are portrayed as not being of the world. These passages reject dependence on worldly power, including politics, as a means of security. The contrast between Jesus' teachings and Christian behavior raises an important question, not just about individual believers, but about the practicality of the Bible itself. And when we examine how believers actually live, the answer begins to emerge. When we look at real life, it becomes clear that the Bible fails to function as a practical guide for modern political reality. Its instructions about trusting divine authority over worldly power and focusing on a spiritual kingdom do not align with the realities people face today. This reveals the deeper truth. When real-world insecurity hits, Christians push Jesus aside and turn to political power. The heavenly kingdom is abandoned, their kingdom falls under worldly governments. In practice, Jesus is replaced by political leaders such as Donald Trump. And this is not just about one leader. It exposes a deeper contradiction. If Jesus' promises were enough, believers would not need political protection. If his kingdom were real in any practical sense, they would not depend on worldly power for survival. They ignored Jesus. They ignore the promises in the Bible because deep down they know those promises will not save them and do not apply to today's reality. And there is a historical reason for this. The Bible was written nearly 2000 years ago in a world very different from ours. a time when early Christians expected the end of the world to arrive within their lifetime. End time expectations shaped many teachings, encouraging detachment from worldly politics because history itself was believed to be ending soon. But those expectations did not come true. The end time prophecies in the Bible all failed. The world continued. Societies changed. Politics evolved. Modern life became complex and global. As a result, people today naturally engage in political systems for survival and security, something the original biblical worldview was never designed to address. The result is clear disconnect. The Bible's teachings remain rooted in an ancient worldview shaped by failed end time expectations, while modern believers live in a long term political and secular world. This gap shows that the Bible is not failing because people are weak, but because it was never written for the realities of today's world.